Hey everyone, this is Robin from Designhill and your host for the day. I hope you and your family are keeping well and safe. I would like to welcome you for this keynote with Eli Libby and Kyle Nelson, where we are going to discuss the power of high quality media in e-commerce. Today's event is brought to you by Designhill, world's leading creative marketplace that caters to uh, creative needs of businesses and individuals alike who can source high quality designs from professional designers and buy unique products. So, moving ahead, let me introduce our speaker for today. We have with us Eli Libby. He is the president and co founder of Results Imagery. Eli's background is rooted in startups with focus on e commerce. He was the director of marketing for an action sport social network called Soul ID, where he led the marketing efforts in one of the fastest growing social networks in the space. Soon after that, he built a direct to consumer lifestyle brand called Vinterial, where the brand grew to 350 plus products in the adventure sports segment. Eli, can you please say a quick hi to the audience?
Evening. There we are. Good morning, good evening, wherever you guys are. We're super excited for the event. And yeah, we're looking forward to kicking this thing off.
So now we have Kyle Nelson. He's the CEO and co-founder of Results Imagery. Out of college, he built a RN staffing agency called HPA Staffing, staffing over 35 RNs throughout California, becoming a top producing RN staffing dedicated to California. In addition to HPA, Kyle held the position of VP Marketing of Soul ID. At Soul ID, he leads a marketing team, created overseas marketing campaigns, and directed the team through different marketing techniques. So, thank you so much, Eli and Kyle, for taking out time from your schedule and joining us today for this session.
Absolutely. We're super excited to get started, and
Absolutely.
we're excited to see everybody on here.
We're excited to be here.
Great, great. So, before we start the session, here is a big announcement. We are giving away certificates to the attendees of this event, but for that you'd have to stick till the end. So brace yourself and stay tuned till the very end. Also, you can take a screenshot of this event and post it as your Insta story and tag Design Hill and Biz Bros. One lucky winner will have a chance to win a PS gift card worth $50. Along with that, as a gesture of appreciation that you can join us for this event, we'll be sharing some special offers for you. So keep an eye on our chat section to get the same. All right. So before we start the session, let's quickly look at what Design Hill is all about.
Looking to get your boss to remember your name? Head to the world's #1 creative marketplace, Designhill.
When my company promoted me to head up our latest real estate development project, I was excited, then anxious, then petrified. How was I going to hire the team, get the designs completed, and design beautiful presentation materials on our lean budget while impressing my bosses, some of whom are still learning my name?
Good job, Mitch.
My name's Lawrence. That's why I went to Design Hill and got the design help I needed that fit within my company's brand guidelines. The process was simple. Design Hill's design contest ensured I'd get a ton of results I'd love. Start by picking a number of designs that inspire you. This one's good, and that one. This one speaks to me. Then share some information about the project. Lastly, pick a package that fits your budget. Do you just want a logo, or do you want it all? Then, boom. I got more than 60 custom design options to choose from, as well as all the other graphic design assets I wanted. And it's all backed by Design Hill's 100% money-back guarantee. If I don't find a design I like, I get my money back. You can't lose. Now I have what I need to make a splash in my meetings, with everything from business cards, pamphlets, posters, and more. It's real.
Let the world know it's real and build your brand with Designhill.
All right, that was all about Design Hill, and now we are all set to start the session. We will take up questions during the session. So, guys, please make sure you drop your questions in the questions tab on your screen. So, over to you guys. We can start the session now.
Awesome. Were they going to play the slides?
Yeah.
Perfect. There we are.
And go ahead and back it up all the way to the beginning if you could.
I think I'm actually operating it, so we'll just go from there.
Perfect.
Awesome. Good morning, everybody.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely clicking it. Good morning, everybody. My name's Kyle, and I'm here with my co-founder, Eli, Libby, and we're the co-founders of Results Imagery. In addition, we have a podcast called the Biz Bros Podcast. We're going to start this off with just going a little bit about Results Imagery and our experiences, a little bit about Biz Bros, and we're going to dive straight into the power of high-quality media and e-commerce. So like I said, we run and operate a company here in Central Oregon in a city called Bend called Results Imagery. And what we do essentially is we bring products to life. We make it so photos and videos of products truly feel and have that human element and that emotional experience that people see online to increase conversions with e-commerce products. So some of the services that we have, we do photography, video production, graphic design, in addition to some brand consulting and media consulting. We do everything from basic product online imagery to lifestyle with models and on location. In addition to video production, which we include lifestyle product videos that have models, great locations, and really showcase your product in the right way, in the right light. We do small stop motion animations that get amazing engagement that we'll go over later, and about us videos and brand documentaries to really show the brand of the company. In addition, we do have some additional services for graphic design that complement our other services, everything from infographics, Amazon storefront design, and animation explainer videos. And like I mentioned, we do media consulting. So we have a pro service. If you have no clue what type of photo or video or design work to complement the stuff that we do, Eli and I will sit down with your team and really figure out what your goals are and create the media to approach those goals. Some of the recent brands that we've worked with in the past year: Nabisco, Roku, ProBar, Chomps, GoDaddy. We work with some very, very large brands in the world, in addition to people that are just getting started with their e-commerce experience. So we really are able to help and touch every style of business, whether you're starting it out of your garage or you're a Fortune 500 company. So it's really exciting to see all the different brands that we work with. A little bit about me. I built a staffing agency right out of college. I helped registered nurses and facilities like hospitals and care facilities pretty much match. So there was a calendar opening and I helped nurses get placed there. After that, I worked with Eli and a couple other co-founders with a company called Soul ID. There was a social network for action sports. We were in 173 countries. It was an amazing experience. We worked with some of the top athletes in the world. In addition, I'm a published and award-winning photographer. I love photography. It is one of my passions in life, and that's what kind of stemmed me to work on Results. And I'm gonna hand it over to Eli.
All right, everybody. All right, like Kyle said, my name is Eli. I'm the president and co-founder of Results Imagery. A little bit of background, I won't touch too much because there is a lot of information in the internet, both on myself and Kyle. So I know we want to get into the real roots of this conversation and presentation, so I'll keep it short. My background is in e-commerce. I built the direct-to-consumer brand in the outdoor adventure space, like the intro said. It was focused on selling on the channels of Shopify, eBay, Amazon, Walmart, and all the other different omni-channel places that you can sell. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. So I do have a deep experience in that, and the passion really is in outdoor adventure sports, which is where that brand came from. Like Kyle mentioned, I was the director of marketing at Soul ID, which was in 173 countries. Amazing social platform for action and adventure sport athletes to share what they loved. So we have a nice background in that. As for where I am today with Results Imagery, I really do lead a lot of the leadership with Kyle and the culture and the employee well-being. That's really what I love doing. I love creating that good environment for people to work, and really at the end of the day, creating a really good product for our clients. You can jump there. Next one, Kyle.
Oh, yep. Sorry. There we are.
There you go. All righty. The BizBro. Yep. BizRose podcast. This is something that Kyle and I run on the side, which we break down and we really dissect top business news strategies, and we bring on really exciting guests as well. We actually have the founder of Designhill coming on the podcast tomorrow. So make sure to check that out. You can take a screenshot and post that to your Instagram story for your chance to win that gift card. Alrighty. So we are going to kick this thing off, and the roots and the meat of this presentation is about the power and what high quality media does to your e-commerce store, and how 2021 is really going to be affected by media. Thanks, you go.
Yeah, so we're going to jump in straight into the agenda for today. So the agenda for today, we're going to go over the 5 pillars of e-commerce media. That includes the media variety. So you want to make sure you have a wide variety of media to really share and showcase your products and create a message behind it through that media. We're going to be talking about market targeting and how you do that for media, how there's only specific media that's really going to jump into the right buyer. Then we're going to talk about the brand awareness and voice behind your brand and how media can help you create that voice and personality. We're going to chat a little bit more about that omni-channel experience and how media can really help you create that experience and have that cohesive voice across all communication platforms, and how all of these pillars create a high increased brand value overall for your product and brand. And then we're going to jump into a Q&A at the end. So to jump right into that, go ahead. You're good. Yep, you're good.
Go ahead. Yep. So we're going to kick it off by talking about media variety, which was the very first part here in the agenda. We're going to talk about the different styles of media for your e-commerce storefront. Those styles that we're about to break down are photography, everything under that umbrella, video production, graphic focused, and audio media.
So to get started, there are 4 different main focuses you can do with photography when it comes to e-commerce. First is going to be product on white photography, then lifestyle product photography, creative product photography, and brand photography. So we're going to jump into each one of those right now. So product on white photography, all of you know, it's the best way to really present the product with accurate and professional visuals and very little distraction as possible. So at the end of the day, it's just the product and that's it. In each of these slides, we're going to go over the when, where, and why you use this kind of product photography. So for product on white, you're going to use it for all sales channels for e-commerce. And that may include Amazon, Walmart, your website, Shopify, anywhere that you're selling or showcasing your product is a great place to put this, and that there's an actual transaction for the purchase. And you do this simply, like I said, to showcase the products and its features. A lot of Amazon sellers out there, they understand that that first image is the hero image, and that is quite possibly the most important piece of media that you could possibly have for your product. And we'll dive into why in a little bit. Next is lifestyle product photography. This is really going to speak and aspire others to buy your product. And it really is created to put your customers and have that emotional connection, that human element to the product with your customers. So the when, like I said, is pretty much to visually paint a picture of the product experience. The where, anywhere possible that someone's going to see your product, you're going to want lifestyle there. It's really going to help increase the conversions. And it just helps the brand identity, like I said, create the human element and speaks to the specific niche that you're trying to go after. Creative product photography. This is, we love doing this kind of work. It's very fun. It's typically done in studio, and it really allows you to convey a mood and really let your imagination go. This is done through combining colors, backgrounds, props, and complementary items. And you want to do it when another element of branding is showcasing, whether it's props or themes to your product. So if you're trying to really outside of lifestyle photos to really bring a mood to your product, this is the way to do it. And this is great for social media and advertising campaigns. You can put it in listings as well, but really this is the type of photography you want for good engagement on social media and ads. And like the why says, this can tell a story based on the composition of the product in a single image. And then brand photography is huge as well. This allows an outsider to look into the actual brand. So who the owners are, who's creating the products, who's the voice of the company. Maybe it's like this company right here. They had a farm that we did photos of. and it showcased the farm and their location to showcase the organic rawness of their brand. And it just tells the story. Can be used anywhere, specifically on your website. It's a great place to use it. Public relation campaigns, press releases, great place. And it's a great way to emotionally connect with the consumers. It's allowing you to be transparent. It's allowing you to have a voice and a personality behind the brand, and allows that trust factor that you're looking for.
All right. As we move into video production, we started talking about it in end of 2019, talking about how 2020 was going to be the year of video. And that's very true. Looking at Amazon, what they've released video in feed advertising, which is huge. It showcases the power of video. So what we'll do in this segment is we're going to break down what is under that umbrella of video production, the different services that we offer, and really how it can benefit your e-commerce store moving into 2021, because we all know video is king. So every one of these videos as well has, Kyle, I don't know if you can click on that, but you guys will get this presentation deck after, and you can click on, these are all videos embedded in this presentation. Looks like you can take a look at the call to action link that was just dropped on the screen here if you want to see that video. But a lifestyle video, it is so impactful in the e-commerce landscape today because it actually shows the product in use, and it specifically speaks to that audience and the environment it's intended for. And again, that video right there that we have dropped in as a link, it is a workout kind of massage gun. So the idea there is to bring that and put that into the element of a gym or before or after a workout. And that's really what you're trying to do, is you're trying to showcase the features of that product and relate it to that target audience. And we're going to jump into market targeting here in the next segment. So stop motion animation videos. They are extremely eye-catching. They're quick. We all know that the attention span to grab somebody's attention these days is between 2 and 4 seconds. A stop motion animation video is very powerful in Instagram stories, digital advertising, any type of medium where you need to grab attention very quick. The example here is the ingredients coming into this natural organic beef stick. So the idea here is to showcase what a product is made of. They're quick and they represent the product in an impactful way. Social media micro videos, again, really focused in digital advertising, social media campaigns. They're quick, digestible, and they tell a story in under 30 seconds. They need to be cinematic. They need to be, and sometimes there's some virality behind them. Everybody has seen those videos that say something funny, and next thing you know, they start to get shared, and they get shared and shared and shared. They're very high in click-through rates, and they can drive a lot of business if they're done right. All right, one of our favorite pieces that we create and we can really tell a story through is brand documentaries, and most people know them as About Us videos. This tells a little bit more, very similar to brand photography that Kyle mentioned earlier. In the video world, this is going to tell that story visually. Maybe there's a mission, or maybe there's an impact. Maybe there's a reason why the founders started their brand, and they would explain that social impact that they're doing. That is the focus here. Talking about the mission, putting it on the website, and using it for public relation campaigns. Anything with PR, if you're a company or a brand that is super sustainable and gives back in certain ways, these are great videos to showcase that. And really what you're trying to do and the why behind these videos is connecting your target audience to the brand and getting that emotional purchase together. All right, we look into animated explainer videos. These are blasted on Amazon. You can see them everywhere. Very quick. Again, you can watch this video in the presentation. It is very, very focused on animation. It shows the features, the product features. They slide in and out of the screen, and they really speak to why a product is what it is and why it's on there. Again, very digestible, very short, quick, showcasing the products. A great way to enhance your listing in 2021. No mentions here, graphic focused. So when we talk about infographics, the reason that people are putting infographics on Amazon listings specifically, but they can be used from a website standpoint as well, is you're trying to showcase your products in a visual format with graphic design elements. So typically they have 3 or 4 or 1 really good lifestyle photo, or even photo on white, and they talk about some of the key features. So a great example here on the screen was this kid's plate. It makes it fun, easy to use, but it also talks about some of the features here. BPA free. It talks about, can it be heated up? Can it be in the dishwasher? Easy to clean. These are great ways to enhance a listing, enhance that conversion rate on any channel, really. It's not just Amazon. People think it's just Amazon, but our clients come to us for every medium. Walmart is becoming really big on the screen. Target.com is becoming really big. These channels are very heavy in graphic design elements. From an Amazon standpoint, moving forward is A+ content. It is the new thing. If you don't have A+ content, if you're not brand registered, that is the very first step. And in order to compete in today's landscape, you really need to have that enhanced brand content in the description of your Amazon listing. On Amazon storefront, gives the audience the ability to click into an internal website, essentially built inside of Amazon, that gives you the ability to scroll, look at different tabs, different products, different features. Anything you can do there to enhance that, quotes, testimonials like we wrote down, is super impactful. And lastly, just to mention it as well, audio is another medium of media that is becoming very big. Podcasting is absolutely huge. And there is kind of a new thing popping in the market of product insert cards. So when you open up your product, it starts to talk about, it starts to explain the product as you open it. That is another form of media that in 2021 is really going to be impactful to conversion rates. All right, as we move into market targeting, like I said, the idea behind market targeting is first understanding who is your market, who are you going after, and now let's start creating media that can speak to that audience to get your clicks, to get your conversions, to get your impressions up. You need to identify the market and then build media around that. It is plain and simple, wash, rinse, and repeat. So as we talk about that here, we are looking for a good example here is these kids' water bottles. We are trying to target, or the client is trying to target kids, but is also trying to target moms into these insulated, small, smaller sized water bottles, and trying to create media that speaks to that. The idea here, from a media standpoint and a brand management standpoint, is to create media that is going to lower your average cost per sale. It is going to decrease the clicks in the beginning, so you're narrowing and creating this really, really fine audience. So you're going to narrow that in the beginning, and what that's going to do is it's going to increase your CTR as the audience begins to narrow. And at the end of the day, what every brand manager wants and every brand wants is a healthier conversion rate. If you target the right audience, you build the right media to that audience, your conversion rates will go up. It is the easiest and simplest thing that you can do in 2021 with your brand. Here's a great example of market targeting through media. This product was a inflatable kayak that was focused in the outdoors world. It was focused on outdoorsmen. And the benefit of this product was not only was it an inflatable kayak that could be rolled up, but it also had the ability to let the consumer stand up and have the stand-up paddleboard experience so that when they're fishing, they can look down into the water and they can kind of see what's below them. And the target behind this campaign was dedicated to outdoorsmen and fishing enthusiasts. So Results Imagery created a piece of content that represented that based on pre-production boards and different storyboards and different elements of the brand style guide that came together. And there's other things as well that we're going to touch on in a little bit, but it even comes down to a level of colors, how the colors are popping. They really, the brand was focused on the greens, so we bring out the greens in a couple different elements of that photo, and that really speaks well to the outdoorsman niche.
A little bit more on market targeting. The more narrow you can target your market through the media. So like Eli was saying, really targeting straight to fishermen, or not just targeting to the children with the water bottles, but also the moms. when you start doing Facebook advertising, Google advertising, you can create a stronger lookalike audience. So that's really going to help you narrow down and expand and really get a better ROI on the photos and videos that you're creating. Because then if you have the right marketing in place for advertising efforts, you can get a good, strong lookalike audience and be able to multiply and duplicate your actual advertising efforts. A great way to really give an example of what some companies are doing to really get that target market to follow them is Patagonia. Patagonia, we all know about, and they produce amazing high quality media for their Instagram page. And people don't just follow Patagonia for the brand. They follow it for the media as well. So media can also be a huge way to really target that market. And it could have nothing to do with your product, but it just has to do with the market you're going after. So if you have the time ever, go to Patagonia's Instagram page and you'll see what I'm talking about. This also helps you figure out better ways to get market research out of it and understanding the trends in your market and the style of media that you need to do. So as you're creating media and putting it out there, see what's getting the most engagement. See where your likes and your comments are coming from. See where you're getting more DMs, whether it's on Instagram or direct messages on Facebook, and see when it's coming, because most likely you just posted a photo or video that can really be helpful. A great way to check this out is some product companies like CPG brands, food brands, and skincare. They're seeing what's trendy. So right now in skincare is the hard shadow for product on white. It gives a little bit more depth to the photo, and it's just a trend that's going on. So we see that through our studio like crazy right now. And CPG brands right now, it's really utilizing the color on the branding, keeping it simple and clean, showcasing the product, and keeping it right in front of your market so they can just see what the product is, but just a little pop of color, which always helps. And now we're going to jump into another pillar, which is brand awareness and creating a voice for your brand. So we're going to dive a little bit more into the next one, but this is the ability to build a brand versus a product. There's a huge difference, and a lot of people are confused about what the difference between a brand and a product is, or should you start the brand first? Should you start the product first? And we're going to jump into some examples of that specifically. Creating a voice of your brand and a personality and really making your brand have a large awareness, it's going to build credibility, and people will trust it more, and it'll give you consumer confidence. So people will be confident in a brand that's putting out good media because you're trusting that they're actually putting dollars to actually making their brand more aware, which is really cool to see a lot of companies doing, especially in the space of this in e-commerce. In the past year, we're seeing this huge wave of everybody putting out high quality media with the growth of e-commerce. And it really can showcase the value in a product. So while putting out a voice and having a personality behind your brand, people are going to fall in love with that brand, and it's going to drive engagement. People are going to want to talk to the brand as the brand talks to them, and that's just going to help increase reach. It's going to show others in the feed seeing that they're involved in another one. Just like on LinkedIn right now, a lot of people are creating a voice behind their brand. It's usually the CEO or co-founder, maybe it's the marketing individual, and you're seeing so much engagement just on LinkedIn of people engaging with other B2B companies just by creating a brand behind a voice behind their brand. And this is really important on the omnichannel consistency. We're going to go over omnichannel in a little bit for those of you that don't know what that is. But right now, if you are looking to build a brand and build a following and build an experience, you want to make sure it's through omnichannel marketing. And the best way to do a brand awareness is through that. So like I was mentioning, confidence, loyalty, and credibility in brand is important. We all know it. There's a reason why when we go shopping online, we are very drawn and magnetized to specific brands because we're used to them. Maybe our mom and dad used them growing up. Maybe we're following an influencer online that talks about it, or you're following them on your newsfeed, or maybe there's an ad campaign that they have some type of message that brand's trying to talk about. You just want to work with brands that you're loyal to and confident with. Media is really important, especially when it comes to the first encounter. So when you're producing photos and videos, you want to make sure it's very high quality and it speaks to your brand specifically, the moods, the colors, the models and talent, the locations, the complementary items, everything needs to speak to your brand. And that's what's going to create that voice around it. And when someone hits your brand for the first time, you want to make sure that that first encounter is exactly what you want them to be experiencing. And it really talks about what you're trying to evade with your brand. And quality media truly in this competitive space, it's the advantage in the modern day commerce landscape. When you're looking on, let's say, Amazon, and you type in, iPhone 12 phone case, you're going to be inundated with dozens, if not hundreds of pages. You're going to automatically, like we all know, you're going to be wanting to go and look at what features are and what maybe the name is. But the first thing you're looking at on the real estate on your phone, when you're on Amazon's app, is the media. Is that media speaking to me correctly? And it's really the way that we all shop right now. We shop with our eyes, not our hands anymore, especially this past year. And so you want to make sure that your media truly showcases its features and speaks to your market. And like I kind of mentioned before, consumers are really looking for a trusted brand to work with and to follow. Me personally, a lot of people at our office, we love the backpack and luggage brand Nomadic because we trust them. They're great quality products, but they create amazing media that truly speaks to their brand. And it's a brand that we all want to focus on and follow. And when they come out with new products, if it's something I need, I'm going to automatically go with them rather than even doing research because I trust it and I want to transact with them. And so here's a perfect example. A lot of you probably know what Yeti ice coolers are. So they have amazing lifestyle photography, as you can see. They have it, so it's this fisherman. He's got his pack of beverages with his dog on the river. And then you have this brand called Gardrit. And as you can see, it's not real lifestyle photos. They're doing the best they can, most likely with the budget, but most likely when you're looking for a product that Yeti sells, you're going to go with them because you trust their brand. They come out with amazing media, and it really showcases and has that human element. If you're a fisherman, it's going to speak to you automatically because you trust it and you're loyal towards it.
So I hope everybody's with us. Hope you guys are enjoying the presentation so far. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them in the question bar. I know we have one question in there from Jane. We're excited to answer that. We'll get to that at the end. But please make sure to drop your questions in there if there are things that are coming up that maybe we're moving a little fast. We will happily answer that at the end. So when we speak about product and brand value, Kyle mentioned Nomadic, which is an incredible brand. Really good brand of high quality backpacks. Movement Watches is a great example. They started on Instagram. They started a direct consumer watch company. The watch company really is just a basic watch. It's not a high quality watch, but what they did better than anybody, and if somebody can throw the link to Instagram up here, the link is in the presentation as well. You can have a really good idea of how their media spoke to the right audience and how their media actually created their brand. Again, basic watch, nothing impressive, but their media makes you want to buy that. It makes you want to look like a movement model that is wearing that watch. So now let's talk a little bit about the value behind that. If you can build the elements, which these elements are pillars that we like to say, quality talent, so a good looking model, an attractive model that speaks, again, everything needs to speak back to that market and target audience that we spoke about before. Quality talent that relates to that audience. A good location, a location that is, maybe epic or something that really draws the eye. And then a good production. You need to have high quality photo and video assets, which is what Results Imagery does best. And then you bring in a storytelling element and you layer all this stuff and then you bake it together. And what that is doing is it's driving engagement. It increases the reach of that brand. And at the end of the day, it increases that product and brand value through, again, these pillars of media: talent, location, production, and storytelling at the end of the day. Another great example here is Allbirds. Allbirds does it very well if you guys are not familiar. They make these wool shoes, very sustainable company. But what they did different, and what we talked about a little bit before with brand photography, brand documentaries, is they created an amazing brand that spoke to their target audience. Again, it all comes back to the same thing. It's wash, rinse, and repeat. It comes back to that, and Kyle dropped a great link in here. What this is doing is it's showing and it's connecting that sustainable shopper to that brand and telling them why Allbirds is a better option than buying an Adidas shoe or a Nike shoe. What they're doing is they are very forward-facing with their voice. Their voice is sustainability. They've broadcasted that through an incredible website, but that website, the only reason it's incredible is because there is amazing media that is layered into that website that makes it really speak to the audience. High quality photo, high quality video. They, yep, Kyle, can you go back real quick? One sec. Yep. What that's doing is it's creating loyalty and it's creating engagement. And at the end of the day, there are people that are following that brand because of those assets. They're following it because they actually believe in that sustainability effort. And the founders are very vocal and they're very in your face and they're forward facing about why they are working on this brand and why their product is far superior than anybody else's. Omnichannel is one of the biggest things that is hitting 2021, and it was in the end of 2020 and throughout 2020, really. So the definition of omnichannel is right here. I'm not going to read it. You guys can take a look at it here on the screen. But I will break it down exactly what it means. It is broadcasting your brand and selling your product throughout multiple channels. That's what it is in a nutshell. And it is creating a consistent voice across all of those platforms. A really good example is if you look back at that ice chest brand. If you jump into their website, it's totally different than what their Amazon listing portrays. What Yeti does really well is you can look at them you can look at a Yeti cooler on Amazon, and you can look at their Yeti cooler on their website, and you can look at it on their Instagram, and you can look at it in their email newsletters, and it is all very, very consistent. The voice is the same, the personality and the assets are consistent through all platforms. The verbiage and the copy will change, but the asset quality and the style is always going to be the same. And that is absolutely key when we are selling in 2021 across all different platforms. And that is really the big movement. And that is, I'm sure, a buzzword that everybody's really, really experienced and comfortable with now. So looking at, let's talk about some different channels. Website is a great example of an omni-channel experience. Amazon, Walmart, eBay, Overstock. I mean, there are so many different places. The idea here is you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You do want to distribute and try to grab sales from different platforms. Never rely on only Amazon, because they can come in and they can take the brand down or whatever that might be. So creating content specifically for those channels is something that a lot of people need to understand. You cannot create a YouTube video and put it on your Amazon listing. That doesn't make sense. Usually YouTube videos are longer format. They tell a longer story, and Amazon is not the place for that. So that does not make sense. Facebook, Instagram, very similar things, but the platform and who knows their platforms, the media needs to be different. The media needs to be, for Instagram, a lot quicker, a lot faster for stories, whereas Facebook, you might be able to grab the attention just a little bit longer. An amazing example of really good media for a specific channel is a brand called Rivian Trucks. Rivian Trucks is, if nobody knows, it's a all-electric rugged truck that's kind of coming out very soon in 2021. Their YouTube channel is long format videos, and it's a series of videos that is a little bit more about the brand, kind of behind the scenes look at the brand. So that is a great example of why you would use YouTube. You would not put that in a Instagram post. That nobody would be looking at that. They're looking for quick, digestible content. Now, an email newsletter is a totally different type of content as well. So it's really understanding, again, the target audience. It's understanding the actual platform you're on. But at the end of the day, keeping everything consistent. The voice and the branding needs to stay consistent across all these platforms.
So there's a great water bottle brand, a DTC brand that's doing an amazing job with this omni-channel experience, and the brand's called Corksicle. Recently, they had a partnership with Star Wars, so they came out with different styles of their Corksicle water bottles. One of them was a Darth Vader brand style, like you can see. And what they did amazing was they have different photos and video that all have very similar feel and vibe and mood to it, but they created different assets for each of their platforms. So on the right, you can see on their website on the listing. The next one to the left, you can see it's a newsletter. Then on their Instagram page, and then this is a video that they created. So it's very consistent, but the media and copy is different. Like we put down here, Instagram is very social heavy. So you're going to want to make sure to have something that's engaging and fun. So they had like a Christmas gift, and they really target the market during that time of year. Facebook is very deal heavy. You want people to click onto your page. There needs to be a good call to action. And so they created media that was clickable and digestible to click through and purchase. And of course, website, visually heavy. When you're on a website, more than not, you're probably trying to get more information on the brand. You're trying to really build that trust factor to it, and so you want to make sure that it's visually heavy and trustworthy and really has that brand voice to it. And of course, a newsletter, always deal focused. People want to drive clicks on their newsletters and email campaign to purchase. And so that omnichannel experience is going to do a few things for you. First, it's going to foster brand loyalty. It's going to create someone and going to create a market that's following you. Like I said earlier with nomadic backpacks, when they come out with a new product, I'm instantly drawn to seeing what they're doing because I trust and I have lots of loyalty towards that brand because I follow them and on all their different platforms. What's really cool about it too is the distribution of media assets is personalized on each channel. So I might like to follow nomadic backpacks only on a couple of their channels because it speaks to me differently on Instagram or maybe their LinkedIn page. I like following to seeing what they're doing on more of a business side. So it's really fun with omnichannel to be able to create the different personalized distribution of media assets. You kind of create different voices and different copy for each of the channels. And it's going to, when someone's dealing with your brand, it's going to create a cohesive voice and experience through every channel. So whether the copy is on Facebook, maybe you're calling in customer support or email support, or the purchasing experience on the website, omnichannel is going to create one cohesive voice. So when I deal with a brand that I like that has omnichannel experience, I know that I'm going to have the same experience on every single channel because I know what their brand is like and I know what I can expect. There's no hidden voice, no hidden fees, no nothing. A company that has a good omnichannel experience is going to be straight to the point. They're going to be very proud of their brand, and they're going to make sure that you are part of the brand by following them on different channels. And it's the way of the modern day consumer and the way that they're purchasing. If I tell Eli about a brand, hey man, check this brand out. First, he's probably going to go to Amazon, see what the price is, check that out, and then he's going to go over to their website, see what they're doing, maybe the other products that they're doing, going to maybe go follow them on an Instagram page because they like their media, and then most likely they're going to jump back to Instagram and purchase the product because you're going to get the fast shipping and the lowest price. And that's just how we all behave now when we purchase. It's just kind of ingrained in the way that we do it, and especially this past year, there's tons of data behind it that omnichannel is really the right direction to go. And the fun part about it is it creates community. The more people, which Patagonia is a perfect example, the more people following your brand and then you wear that product, you know that most likely the person that's wearing a Patagonia jacket is very like-minded to you. They love the causes that Patagonia has. They love the outdoors and they love good quality products. And so you have an instant way to talk to somebody and have a good conversation starter. And it's all because of that omnichannel experience that companies are creating. And the brand value at the end of the day is the most important thing and the number one thing that you're going to get from all of these different pillars that we've created. And Eli's going to jump a little bit more into those.
Awesome. So this is wrapping up everything that we talked about. We're wrapping up, a variety of media assets. We talk about the variety of media: photo, video, graphic design, audio, bundling everything together. And then we layer in the targeted audience, which I see some great questions coming in, talking about how to create a media strategy. And to jump a little bit into that, it is starting with focusing on that target market to create the media strategy. Next, we want to think about that omnichannel experience, which is creating a cohesive voice, consistent voice across the brand. Same style. Even when we talk about voice and branding, what that really means that at the end of the day is copy and media. Creating even the same style. People talk about brand style guides. It's everything from colors, fonts, logos. Everything needs to be consistent across all platforms because you have that one split opportunity to grab that attention of somebody, and then you need to keep them throughout their entire consumer behavior experience, like Kyle just touched on, in order to get them to put their credit card in at that add to cart button at the very end. So all of this lumping into the omni-channel experience is going to create that increased brand value. And what at the end of the day, what brand value does is that actually increases your average order value, which is also termed AOV. And what that's doing is Movement is a great example. Their watch is probably worth 10 to 15 US dollars max. I mean, there's no reason it should be more than that. It's not a quality watch, but because of the branding and because of what they've done with the styling, and they get you to empower and feel like you are, a trendy adventurer, they can then increase the price of that unit because it makes you feel a certain way. When we look a little bit deeper here, it does, like I just said, it increases the perception of the brand. It could be a lame, cheap product, but the perception of the brand through media, that is why the brand can look at that stature and sell at that price. Again, all supported by media. People love brands with a story. Allbirds, great example. They love the Sustainability Act. They love what the founders are doing. But the only way that they can represent that is through media. The only way they can do that is showing videos of the founders locally sourcing the wool for their shoes, showing in the factories, like the nitty-gritty behind the scenes, the about us videos. That is supported by media. The only way they can do that is through really good photos on their listing pages as well. But at the end of everything, media supports everything. Media is that foundation, and that will increase the brand awareness and increase the reach.
So the 5 pillars that we talked about that you can go back to, they're all supported by media, and you truly can never have enough media. The more you want to push your message, the more you want to push your mission to your brand, the different features it showcases, the individuals that started the brand, maybe you have a sustainability movement, whatever it is, you never can have enough media. And it's the only way you're truly going to be able to push your message in a highly visual and engaging and consumable way is through media. So we appreciate you guys giving us the past 45 minutes to talk about the true reason why high quality media is so powerful in e-commerce. If you're interested in photo or video work for your e-commerce brand, please check us out at www.resultsimagery.com. If you'd like to learn more about us, and Eli and I, the Biz Bros, check out our podcast or go to our website, bizbros.io. We would love to have some people check out our podcast specifically. We talk about business strategies. We talk about all things business, and we have some great people we're interviewing. So please check us out, and thank you so much for joining us.
All right. So it was amazing presentation, and I totally loved it, and I hope our audience enjoyed it. So before we move forward, I would like to give a quick shout out to Designhill for organizing this event. And after this short break, we'll take up some questions. So we have around 5 to 6 questions asked by our live audience. So here's a quick shout out to Designhill, and we'll be right back. All right. So we are back again, and now we'll be taking some questions. So the first question was asked by Jane. So I'll put forward it. So she's asking what has proven to be the most effective combination of media on landing and product pages.
So looking specifically, let's talk product pages. We kind of have a recipe to success for media on product pages. And that typically, Jane, consists of, depending on your product, right? If it's a super big product or super complex, we're looking at anywhere between 2 and 4 photos on white. You typically want to sprinkle that in with maybe one creative type of in-studio photo. But then you want to take 2 to 3 lifestyle photos that, again, talks to that audience, creates a human element behind the brand. You can do an infographic that talks about the features of the product and graphically explains that in just one image. And then a video, some type of video that connects the buyer to the product. That is typically what we recommend as a kind of a recipe for media on listing pages.
Okay. I hope, Jane, this answers your question. So let's take another question, which was asked by Abdullahi Muhammad. So he's asking which tools do you guys recommend to create high quality media?
I think this is kind of can be a mixed answer. Of course, here at Results Imagery, we use the highest quality style of cameras, video cameras, and lighting. In addition to the Adobe suite is what we typically edit on. But I think for individuals, and I'm actually going to jump to a couple questions down from Stigendur. He said, "Are there free channels that one can use starting out?" And there are a lot of different channels out there. If you're just starting out and you have a very small budget and it's a side hustle, sure, go and use your cell phone. That's totally fine. The biggest thing is you're going to want to make sure to follow those different tips that we had. You want to make sure you have great lighting on your product, and you want to make sure, if you can, have a good stand-in model. But more importantly, make sure that the location or the backdrop is of good quality, because if it has too much clutter or too much distraction, it's really not going to help the photo. And there's tools out there that you can upload. If you take a photo on a white background and you want a pure white background, there's tools online out there that you can upload and it'll clip for you on white. So I think that was kind of a answering a couple different questions, but we personally use the highest quality stuff because the clients that we work with, they're looking to compete with very large brands typically, and they're looking for studios that only produce high quality media.
Okay. I hope, guys, this answers your question. So let's take another question from Ko. Uh, is asking, it looks like it is good to have a lot of brand awareness as well as channel awareness. How much do we need to know about channels before using them?
I think when you're looking at different channels, a great place to get started to learn about those channels is look at your competitors and see what they're doing. Now, the competitors that you're looking at, they might not be going towards the exact same market as you, but you really should know what channels you want to create which copy and which message for. Usually when you're starting out, you're blasting as much as you can to have the loudest voice and make everyone aware as much as possible, which is fine, and that's what you want to do. But with time, you're going to start learning what specific channels and followers are looking for in that style of media.
Okay, great. So let's take another question. Anna Hyken, she's asking, what are the important steps to developing a perfect media strategy plan for an e-commerce brand? And what are the best platforms would you recommend for online marketing in terms of ROI?
Great question, Anna. We touched on it a little bit, but we can dive deeper a little bit here, but also offline if you want to reach us at BizBros. We can talk a little bit more about strategy and then results imagery as well. But the earliest layer, one of the things you want to do right off the gate is understand who your product is used best for. I mean, right out of the gate, if you're selling, like we talked about, a water bottle, a kid's water bottle, understanding that the kids aren't going to be buying it, but the kids are the people that might be influencing the mothers to be buying that water bottle. They're going to see that on a social platform. They're going to tell their moms that. Then that media needs to relate to both segments. So again, understanding that, and then talking, and then budget is a big part of it as well. You know what you want to do, you know the strategy, and then coming up with a good budget of, okay, what do I want to spend to get the most out of this? And this is what we tell our clients a lot, Anna, is if you're going to invest in, $10,000 to $20,000 in kids' water bottles, let's just keep using that example. What is another, $5,000 between really high quality photo assets, infographics, and video production to move through that $20,000 in inventory to give you your best ROI? And you mentioned here is what are some platforms you recommend to get the best ROI? Well, if you don't have good media, you will never get anybody into that platform. So that's like the very beginnings. Media is the foundation to everything. If you don't have good photos and videos to attract that eye and let them shop with their eyes, you're not going to get any ROI. So at that point, you have this dead and excess inventory piling up. You're paying storage fees. Focus on creating a good target market, allocate a budget, and then let's start talking about a media plan. As far as platforms with the best ROI, again, it's very product specific. If you're coming out with something very, very niche and very unique, maybe a lot of patents around it, we recommend trying to go on to Shopify, on a platform like that, using Google, using Facebook, using Instagram to push traffic into that site. Because if you have a very unique product, it's really going to be hard to be discovered on Amazon. Now, if you have a very kind of mainstream product that you're trying to add some really, really exciting media to, Amazon is a great platform. It's got great advertising abilities. They're launching new feed options, in feed type options for video. Those are great platforms there. Google search ads, Google product listing ads is another great place. It's in that shopping tab in Google, right on the top. That is a great spot to drive traffic and actually purchase directly from that omnichannel, which is Google.
Okay, great. I hope, Anna, this answers your question. So we have another question coming up from Hannah, and she's asking, I'm a startup business in a very niche market. I'm looking to build my brand with an interview-based podcast. Could you give me any advice or podcasting apps to use? How did you share your podcast when it gets started?
Yeah, so podcasting is obviously very trendy right now. Everyone's doing it, which is awesome because it's a different way to consume media. It gets individuals to understand you and your brand a little bit better. Like our podcast, we use a platform called anchor.fm. And that allows you to upload the podcast just once and then distribute it on, I think, 15 different platforms. And that includes the description, the name of it, and if there's a photo with it. So that's a pretty cool platform. If you're looking to, I lost my yeah. So sharing the podcast when we got started, it was literally just as simple as sharing it with our own friends and family, asking them to share it with people that they feel like would connect to it. And over time, the algorithm on the different platforms, specifically Apple and Spotify, is really where everyone's going to. For different topics that might be trending, it'll start picking you up and get people to see who you are and understand who you are. For interview style, definitely recommend Zoom. It's an easy way to book somebody and record that video as well, which is really important. So that's what we use is Zoom. Sometimes we use Google, but usually we're using Zoom so we can record the screen.
Okay, so we have one more question coming up from Daniel. He's asking about promotion and branding. How can I use my brand to promote or sell something people want to buy? I'm a smartphone photography aficionado in Trinidad and Tobago, and I post pictures on social media. However, I don't offer any service. How can I make my brand more recognized in this instance?
Well, Daniel, I would first come back to the roots and the foundation here is you're trying to sell something with an audience that you currently have. You're trying to sell to them, understanding and making sure that you're talking to the right audience. Like that is right off the bat is why are they coming to you? It sounds like you said you're a smartphone photography aficionado here. Maybe what products would relate to that audience? That is the very first starting point. Kyle, do you have anything else to touch on that one with? I mean, I think understanding the brand and understanding like what people would want there.
Yeah, I think to add on top of that, Danielle, is whatever you're passionate about and you love, and it's something that you're interested in, that's what's going to really fuel the fire of the product that you want to promote. So if you're taking photos on your smartphone in your location, you have followers doing that, and there's something you love, I would really chase what's going to really put fuel on the fire for you and make it enjoyable for you to actually have a product or a brand that you're going to like. I wouldn't just do something specifically just to launch. But I really do think something passionate. And a lot of people right now, if you have some very beautiful photos, you can also sell prints. I mean, just to get started, you can sell prints, you could sell your photos on clothing. There's all types of things that you could do just to quickly get started through print-on-demand companies that cost near nothing to get started. Designhill, I know, could probably help you with that as well. So really find something you're passionate about and see what your market really wants to engage with. And don't be afraid to ask the people that are following you too. Like say, hey, if there's a product, these are my ideas. Please, do a poll and see what people think. Oh, this would be a cool product, or this would really be beneficial to me. Doing your market research is important too, and the best way to do that is just asking your market what they're looking for.
I hope, Daniel, this answers your question. So we have another question again coming up from Ko. He's asking, do you have any idea of what percentage of switch is happening between traditional media, that is radio and TV, and that switch between radio and traditional media to social media?
We don't really have the data for that per se.
I think in terms of direct numbers, I don't have the. Go ahead. You're saying the same thing.
We don't have the numbers. You have to purchase that data for very big dollars to find that out. But I think at the end of the day, the entry to social media is practically free. You can get your phone out, you can start recording or take photos and post it on there. The entry to radio and TV is not free. In fact, it's really expensive, and the price is just skyrocketing because less people are actually jumping on. So people are in droves going to social media the past 5 years because it can be free, or if you're getting it professionally done, you can work with studios that are lower budget to be able to get some good media for you to get you started.
To add on top of that, just look at consumer behavior. That's a great place to start. When a commercial comes on TV, what do people do? They instantly go to grab their phone through social media. The TV advertising and the radio advertising is becoming obsolete. And it's really just looking at how do people consume media. Again, a commercial comes on radio or TV, people pick up their phone to social media. Hit them with a social media ad with really good media. You'll convert way better than them pressing mute on the commercial.
Okay. So I hope, Ko, this answers your question. So let's take the last question for today. Client is asking, what types of content will be most impactful in 2021? So we have seen people consuming lots of content during the lockdown. The whole world has consumed lots of content, variety of content. So do you want to say something? What type of content will be like very hot during 2021 coming year?
I think the trend. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. A big trend obviously is going to be video, but like we talked about before, there is so much competition now to launch a product. You need to have a brand. You need to have a story behind your product and something that the consumer can really relate to. I think we can speak all day to the difference between a high quality photo with a high quality professional camera and lighting versus a cell phone photo. That's very easy and very easy to comprehend why there's a difference in the quality. That's easy. Now, anybody can do that. But what you really need to do is understand in 2021, what is your competitive advantage from a consumer purchasing mindset. Why would somebody purchase Allbirds over purchasing your direct consumer brand of shoes? It's because they built a brand behind it. They built the story of why that product is better and why that there's some movement behind it, and tell that story through video. So brand documentaries, about us videos, brand photography is going to be so impactful in 2021. And I think that would be where I would be placing my bets for 2021, is to create differentiation and to create yourself as your own standalone brand because of your story and your mission behind that. Go for it, Kyle.
No, you answer exactly what I was going to say. I think brand photo and brand video is huge. People want to know the movement behind it, and really the voice behind it. And I would put my dollars on anything brandable.
Yep.
Okay. All right, guys. So this brings us to the end of this wonderful session with Eli and Kyle. And this was indeed a value-packed session. Although there is a lot more that we could have learned, but unfortunately, we are limited by time here. I hope you guys loved this session. And once again, I would like to thank you, Eli and Kyle, for taking out time to be part of this event. And seriously, guys, that was an amazing presentation. I got to learn so many things about social media marketing, e-commerce, high quality media. So, all right, guys, this is not where it ends. We have a lot more events lined up for you in the coming days. The next event is Branding Mastery, Agile Strategies to stand out as a brand on 11th of January. So, if you guys are interested and haven't registered yet, I'm putting the link of our event section in our chat section where you can find all of our upcoming events and register. And to stay updated with events like these, you can follow us on Instagram. You can also give suggestions on a topic you would like us to cover and speakers you want us to host. I'm dropping the link of our Instagram page in our chat section here. And to watch this session and other such wonderful events, subscribe to our event section on designhill.com/events or visit our official YouTube channel, Designhill. You can find the link in our chat section here. And for all the designers and artists who are listening to this and wish to be a part of thriving design community, visit designhill.com. Also, we are soon be launching some cool design challenges which are worth $7,000. Any designer and non-designer can be a part of it and create awesome designs using our DIY design tool called Designhill Studio. You can visit designhill.com/studio/challenges and check more about it. You can find the link in the chat, and do not forget to subscribe to our newsletter to get notified about these challenges and unlock your chance to win big. And finally, on that note, I would like to say bye to everyone who joined us here today. Take care, guys, and stay safe.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. It was great.
Pleasure.